Good morning, everyone. It is the next day on our small little trip we're doing here down to Wellington Dam, and you heard us last night talk in the video about how we were going to go through our camp setups and what's different between mine and Wayne's. So we're just going to go through a little bit of a walkthrough, I suppose, best way of saying it, and talk to you about why we chose what setups we have. All right, so Wayne, your setup first. It's the most elaborate.
Yeah, so like last night we spoke about how many stages we've done with our vehicles, building them up, trying everything, what works, what doesn't. So the way mine is set up now is definitely more of a tourer. Like you'll see in a minute, the rooftop tent, the awning, everything else. So this is definitely more of a luxury, more comfort. When you're out bush for 2 to 3 weeks, you need a bit of comfort.
Yeah.
There's only so many times you can rough it, So,
yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, so this is pretty much everything works. It's all quick and easy as well as the main thing, because with our touring, we get to camp late, as you might have seen from previous videos. Camp late, it's got to be quick setups, and leave first thing in the morning. Bang, you're done.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's set up now. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, cool. All right, so well, we got some rooftop tent. You got the Alocab awning, which is obviously part of the rooftop tent.
Yeah. We're gonna do a quick little walk around.
Go do that and have a bit of a gander around, and see what makes your setup so special, I suppose.
So I've got a new canopy now. The previous one I had was just like a bit of a trial, because I was always making my own things. Like the canopy is all just a steel frame, couple sheets pop riveted on, just to chart the space and all that. So there's no point. The way I thought of it, there's no point getting someone to make a decent one if it doesn't work. You don't want to spend all that money and then realize, geez, my fridge doesn't fit and this doesn't work. So if you can, or if you've got a mate that can weld or do anything, just make a frame, just a basic one, and put everything in there. Go on a trip with it, like test it out, see if it works or not. So the last one I had, was just a frame, sheets, and basic. So it worked. I loved it. And then I got GT Fabrication to make up alley one for me. So saved a bit of weight, and it just works. Like everything is nice and tight, no real wasted space. So yeah. But drop slide fridge, because it's just, they're heavy, but they are great. It's like everything just works. It works as well with the kitchen setup. Easy to get into.
And the other side is, you're, I don't know, what, 5'8" or something. So I don't know how to tell you. I'm assuming I'm 6'1".
I used to have a little ladder to carry around with me, but not anymore.
Wayne's not. He's got like a 4-inch lifted truck, so he's not the biggest person in the world.
So as you can see, it's pretty tall.
Yeah, you'd be trying to get in there, and you got to think, if you had to slide, you'd be up here somewhere. So trying to get in there, so you got to have the drop down slide, I think, in this situation.
Yeah. So I've got the 60-litre fridge freezer. So this is actually my freezer for the trips. So if I'm doing a 2-week trip or 3-week trip, I will make all my meals at home, like every single one, cryovac it, make them nice and flat, and then I stand them all up in the freezer. So it's nice, quick and easy. Pull up to camp, pull one out, and the pan it goes. Like it's not, no prepping, anything. So that's the freezer. Other side is a fridge, so that'll be like just my drinks and milk and orange juice and stuff. So, and yeah, got the travel bud. This thing was awesome. So again, on the run, I can chuck pies in there. I have other frozen meals as well, just lunch size, and that goes in there. Leave it in there for like an hour normally, from frozen, and yeah, it's ready. So it's very quick and easy. What else I got new here?
But just touching on that, I suppose a lot of people don't realise, well, this is your daily car. So you drive this every day, right? So you're a carpenter.
Yeah.
You're a carpenter by trade. So you just think when you're on a site and you have that nice warm meal in the middle of winter, that comes in gold.
Yeah.
Have a nice warm meal when you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So, but now another thing to think of is how much power these things draw. They draw about 10 amps.
Yep.
Which is, it's a lot of power. So now I've had to change to a lithium battery.
Yep.
From Off-Road Living. It's the all spark battery. It's 150 amps. So I've got plenty of power now to pretty much run 2 fridges, the travel buddy, all my lights. I've got power up in the rooftop tent as well. So this thing just blows my mind. Like it's one of those things again that I should have spent the money from first up and done it right. But you want to you got to learn these things. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as I said,
So
like your fifth or sixth build. So
after my fourth battery, I was kind of like, there's like $1,200-$1,400 already just the batteries. So I was like, oh, now I got to buy. I was like, just get the lithium. So.
yeah. And the cool thing about lithium over, Deep Cycle or AGM, whatever, is they can pretty much be used to zero. Yeah, whereas a 150 amp hour deep cycle, I think you got to halve it, so you only actually get about 70 roughly amp hours. So
this is like
it's chalk and cheese though. You're actually getting about 150 amp hours, which is great. So,
but the thing with lithium is a lot of people don't know is you have to get the right charging unit. So even though you're spending good money on a battery, then you need to spend good money to charge it. So I do believe there's quite a few products out there now that do charge it, but I've just gone with Red Arc. Red Arc is really good gear. Got the BMS 30, so it's a battery management system. If you don't know what BMS stands for,
the manager.
You never know. So this has got the solar goes in there. The alternator comes in as well, and I can run 240. So this thing controls everything, and there's a little unit over here. I can zoom around. So this is a little control panel, so I can see exactly what's going on. So at the moment, I've got the solar's coming in, so it's at 94%. That's roughly how long it'll take to charge, only because it's still early morning and I'm under trees, so it should be a lot quicker than that. That tells me what my batteries are at the front of the car. So at the moment, at 12.7. No charge going in there because I've got it separated. And that's what's happening now. There's 18.4 volts coming in from the sun, which again is not much because
you're in the shade as well. So
yeah. And so there's quite a few little things on there, settings. And that's pretty much the canopy at the moment.
Yeah, cool. Well, it's pretty epic setup. Like you don't really need anything else. Like you go on the other side, you got your shower and that kind of stuff in there as well. So you've got everything you need.
Yeah. So a lot of people get the higher canopies, which again, it's just to look. You see that that's kind of a waste of space in a way. So you can imagine if the canopy was higher, you can have all this waste of space unless you start putting bags. But then things get awkward. I reckon, you're
trying to take the fridge out, then you got stuff bashing on the canopy.
It's just no. This works for me.
Yeah, simplicity is the key. Alright, cool. Well, we'll duck around the other side and have a look at the shower and that.
So this is the kitchen layout. So again, everything's just quick and easy. I can just pull up next to the road, pull out my cooker. So I'll be standing that side. Gas bottle here, so just hook everything straight on. I'm ready to go within 2 minutes. I can be cooking. So that one there. This side here is all the cutlery, pots, pans, plates, spices, all that goes in that one. So the thing I thought about too is I want to have access to everything all the time. So I can have this fridge out here, and I've allowed enough space so I can actually walk in here and still grab everything.
Yeah.
So I've got to put that away, and then there's nothing worse. And up here it's just normally all my tins of food go up here, but this time I've just left that in there, and there's some pots in there as well. So yeah.
All right, these are worth talking about from Jimmy from Grab Me Gear. So
yeah,
if you're not from WA, you might not know about it, but these are actually some of the coolest products probably in the market at the moment.
Yeah, it's so good now. My gear actually doesn't get destroyed. Can you imagine corrugations, pots and pans, and everything rattling around and that? So this just keeps everything nice and tight. Awesome gear. I love the clear plastic he does. So you can actually see instead of trying to take every bag and go, oh geez, what I leave in that one?
Or drawing texture on it and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is I can see. Oh yeah, that's what I need. So, but everything works. So it's really cool.
It's pretty good gear, that old Grab Me Gear.
I think you pretty much can custom too. Just don't hold me to that though. Sorry, Jimmy.
Pretty sure I saw somewhere. But
I'll check with that one.
yeah, we'll check with Jimmy before the video comes out, just to make sure. Then I'll put like a yes or no on the
you'll get
screen.
close enough to the size that you want.
Yeah.
So another thing I've thought of is the tailgate. So it's just another purpose, you know, like this is all stainless steel, food grade. So I can just chuck everything on there, cook on there. Probably, you know, needs a bit of a clean before I do that though. So, but yeah, it's just everything's got, you know, everything just seems to work really well. Rubbish bag from PM Canvas. So here's another custom canvas guy. It works really well.
Holds a fair bit too.
Yeah.
Like it's not just your back of the tyre rubbish bag. They
Yeah. And then I've got
just get covered in mud.
and I've got the 2 lights in here, so that shines directly down onto this, lights up the whole bench.
And you got real good access to this as well.
Mm.
Very cool. And we better give a shout out to Alex from Intense Off Road.
Top bloke.
He is a top bloke.
I love his raw content.
He's pretty raw. So this is another new add-on.
So this is the quick pitch shower room or change room. There's a lot of people use it for. Yeah, again, just quick and easy. Pretty much just, you know, all kind of folds into each other. So that zips around, roll it up. So that's really cool. So because I got that, with the bigger trips, you know, you need to have a shower after like 4 days. You know, there's only so many times you can use baby wipes and that. So, so I definitely got on the shower unit now, which again, I had a good think about it, where I'm going to put it, and make sure it all works really well. So what I do is I just unhook the gas bottle, bring the gas bottle around here, gas clips in, water goes to my tank here, and then there's a head unit that goes into there. And
just flick it over the top and you got a shower.
You just turn your gas on, the batteries and everything, the ignition is all built in, so that'll just light up straight away, and you'll have hot water within like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. Mine's like 2 seconds, it just bang straight in.
Yeah, so I've actually I fixed this in. A lot of people have the ones that swing out, which I guess is all for the gas, and you know, that's not very good for you. But it's in here, both doors always be open.
Yeah.
And then I've actually got a plate up here, so the heat hits the plate, and then goes along, and then goes out the vent. So that way I can actually leave this in here, and it doesn't get hot at all. Like I've had a 5-minute shower, and yeah, it's still like it's warm, but not peeling paint off, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, and then the luxury again. But yeah, like I say.
But again, on the longer trips,
after 4 days, you need a shower, especially if you're near the ocean, like you got salt water and stuff. So
yeah. Or even if like, you know, you're taking something with you, like the comfort of actually just having a shower.
Oh yeah.
Because you might just have a day where you're in Brunswick, right? And you go through 2 bog holes, and you got to get your car, and you just get covered in mud.
Yeah. And
there's nothing worse than going like a swag, dirty, covered in mud.
Yeah.
Clean yourself with baby wipes. For an overnighter, yeah, probably a little bit overkill. But but if you're going out for a couple of days or at least a week, I reckon it's probably a necessity now. Like you probably have to have it.
Yeah.
No one likes being smelly.
Yeah. And we've got the Alucab Expedition 3 rooftop. So that's again, it's just so quick and easy. The way this thing is, you've got 2 levers on the back. It just pops up, and then the gas struts are pretty much just pushed up. So again, like within, when I get the ladder up.
Yeah, when you had it up yesterday, it was like literally I'll turn around and then you had the whole thing set up.
Yeah. So
it's pretty quick.
Very quick. And the cool thing is that the gas struts are that strong, they can actually lift, I think, 40 kilos.
Okay.
So if you've got jerry cans or push bike or kayaks on the roof, actually you don't have to take them off. You can just lift the whole thing.
Yeah, right.
So it's that's a huge bonus. There's nothing worse than grabbing everything off just to go to bed, you know. So
yeah, I mean, I've seen this one plus a bunch of others, and I still rate this one to probably be the best out there. Yeah. Like with the fact that you've got the aluminium cab and you can put the solar panels on there, you got the roof racks. They've thought of everything, and yeah, it's worth the money. That's for sure.
And another thing, I do like the way the gas struts go inside, so they won't be exposed to the weather.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
A lot of other companies are putting them outside, and that's cop all the weather, and
Dust, rain, all that kind of stuff.
Trust and after. So I've used this now. Probably I've had it for a year and 4 months.
Yeah.
I reckon I've stepped in it probably 120 times,
Yeah,
130
nice.
times. So, and it's still, the gas struts are working just like I bought today. Like
Yeah.
everything was, the zips are fine. Everything was just, you'd think something would like wear through.
Yeah.
Or like, start wearing out, but it's exactly the same. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I mean, I actually thought it was like a couple of months old. It looks brand new. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Touching on the rooftop tent, obviously it comes with this ginormous awning. Like this thing is massive.
Yeah, so the cool thing with the AluCab is everything bolts onto the rooftop. So if you do want to have a quick release setup, like I say, you don't want to drive around with the rooftop all the time, you can just have undo the bolts and everything comes off. Even the shower tent, the awning, everything just comes off and you can just leave that at home. So they've really thought about everything. The strength of these things is just amazing. Like we've been at shows and the wind is howling through, and you're obviously going to get some movement, but it doesn't feel like it's going to take off. Like it's just it's all the C sections riveted together, which really works, and the mechanism there where the sway is, that's as solid as.
Yeah, it's a chunky bit of gear in it. No, definitely. I mean, it comes back to that quality thing, right?
Yeah.
Back to the age-old question of quality versus price, and you pay the extra, and it's going to last. So
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that's what it really comes down to.
Yeah.
And I've seen a fair few, again, 270s, and you couldn't say that about every single 270. A bit of wind and they snap, something breaks.
Yeah.
I've
had a couple, and the last one I had, it was scary. Like it was just a little breeze, and the thing was like moving the whole car. So then I had to stop when the pole's down, pegging it down. Whereas it just comes with one pole, and that's all I reckon it needs. But there will be times when I kind of go, oh, geez, maybe I should put another one down.
Yeah.
But so far, I haven't had to use them, so they're damn good.
Yeah. No, it's very good looking gear. Nice and rugged, and then small things like this, right? A little bit of plastic or whatever it is over there, just so it doesn't rub through, and all the rest of it. It's the small things.
Yeah. So even this little cutout, that's actually to let the wind out. So if the wind comes in, it'll actually go up here and then go out there.
It's got an exit hole, yeah.
So I think a lot of other ones will actually be like sewn right down, and that's just another reason why they lift up and down. So you will get a little bit of water, but they've actually just recently made another bit of canvas to go along there that zips between the two. So you can gutter. There's like a little gutter thing that runs
to drain the water.
Yeah, so I'll probably look at getting that soon.
Yeah, okay. Actually, talking about these, so my brother's got one of these on his 76 series, and it's a different brand than this, but recently he had to replace 3 parts in that little mechanism there due to the wind. He was down at the beach one time, just set it up. Wasn't like probably 10, 15 Ks. But what happened was all the pressure is obviously on that big bracket there.
Yeah.
And a little bit of wind pushed it up and snapped plastic, plastic just broke. So it's good to see, these guys went with the full metal setup, and you really haven't got anything in there. I mean, the washers they're all not going to snap, and it's all just metal.
I think they're nylon.
Yeah, the nylon washers. So nothing's really going to snap in there, and it looks like, as I said, like all good quality gear. So yeah, it's definitely worth your coin if you're going to invest it. That's for sure.
So I've also got the ARB Deluxe bull bar, winch compatible, obviously. I've had this since I bought the vehicle. I did cut out the main tube here just to fit the lights actually direct onto the main plate, because the last lights I had were pretty heavy and they end up actually tearing a massive hole in the tube. So so I just want to keep the bull bar, so I just chop it off, and seems to be working pretty well. I've got just a 6 dB aerial. I'm looking at getting a 3 dB as well, just for when I run tag along tours and being in the denser bush, the 3dB works way better than the 6. So this is highway, and the 3dB will be for bush and hilly areas. So
You gonna have 2 separate radios for this?
I might just do the aerial for now, and you can have a switch.
Yep.
But eventually I will have another one just so I can run my own channel when we're doing our tours. So that's probably going to be set up pretty soon. That's pretty much it for the front. I'll pop the bonnet and we'll have a look at the new electrics. So in some previous videos I've said to a lot of people keep everything simple with electrics, but now that's kind of changed a bit, more towards testing products. So I like to tell people what I've experienced. So with keeping it simple, if someone would ask me a question, I'd say, oh, what about the new BC-DC charger? And I'm like, well, I've never had one before, so I can't talk about it. So what I'm doing now with all my new setup is I'm just trying new stuff. Like now I've got this new kit from PDP in Perth. They do a wicked kit, like a full dual battery system. So it comes with everything, like even the wiring is cut to the right length. Like it's so awesome. But only for more the cruisers, because that's what he specializes in. So, but I'm sure you can flick him an email if you want to know anything else about their system. So what I've got here is I've got the Redarc BC-DC. So that's controlling my cranking and my second battery there. So this pretty much is like the brain behind everything. This knows how much volts in each, and it'll send charge to where it needs it. So this is pretty cool. You can also plug solar straight into this, which is another bonus. But yeah, so he does a really cool tray. When you buy the kit, it comes with all like an instruction manual, like full detailed, like what to move, where there's bolts, and there's no guesswork. It's all done, all the thinking is done for you. What else are we doing? So motor stock. It's a thing I'm doing ever since I bought it. I've never tuned it. I'm just running a 3-inch exhaust, catch can. It was more just to show people that you don't need to tune these things to like 700 newton meters or 800 newton meters. You don't need to be pushing out that much power to go off-roading. I mean, on the highway, if you want to overtake a big road train, yes, the power is amazing to have there if you want it. But when you're off-roading, the factory tune it just seems to be working, and this is a heavy vehicle. So my driving style is based on pressures and gearing, like gear selection. So and it's working. So that's pretty cool. The only other thing I've changed is I'm running a water-cooled alternator, so it's fully sealed. Because a lot of cruiser owners will know that these alternators are down the bottom. Worst spot you can have them, because mud flicks up and the light comes up on the dash, and then it's the worst feeling when you're 1,000 kilometers from anywhere. So bit the bullet, bought the water cooled, fully sealed. I have no dramas now, and I've been through some pretty thick mud, and that's a good investment. That's pretty much it. Standard airbox, everything, even the filters are all genuine. I've always stuck with genuine stuff because I've learned getting the aftermarket doesn't always work. But yeah, that's pretty much the engine bay. Righto, so onto suspension and tyres now. So I used to run with Old Man Emu. They were great. I had them for 5.5 years. But I eventually decided I need a good suspension, especially being on the videos and the tag along tours and the places we go. You want good suspension. So I eventually went and saw SWAT 4x4 in Perth, and the guys down there are just amazing. Like you tell them what you want, and they suggest a few things, and they're suspension specialists, so they know exactly what's going on here. So we end up fitting the Kings 3-inch. It's all remote res, full adjustable with the rebound and all that sort of thing. And they're definitely more of a racing shock. You definitely got to drive these pretty hard in the bush, which is not always the best thing, but I find if you go in the bush and something comes up that you didn't see, these things will just soak it up. Like it's pretty cool what they can do. And we just did a shark bait trip recently. Worst corrugations, biggest whoops, and this thing was just handling everything. It's just, you wouldn't think suspension would just change the way a car feels. Like it's just yeah, no, it's pretty awesome. So with the back, I'm running parabolic leaf springs. So I'm still sticking with leaf springs just because of the load. Because if I go coils, you know, I need airbags and all that sort of thing. And then if I go off road, I gotta let them down, and it's just too much hassle. So everything in the car is just simple. Then with the tires, I've recently tried these new Maxxis razors. Every time I need to change tires, it's a new brand. Just because again, I love testing new products. So when people come up to me and go, "What do you think of the Kevlars that I used to run?" I'll go, "Brilliant tire, all this. Here's the flaws and whatnot." Trying new Maxxis, I've had them on for 10,000 Ks. So far, no dramas yet. When I get to about 40, 50,000, I'll probably do like a little review on them. But yeah, no, so far so good. I run 6 of these just because of the touring again. 2 spares, you know, just because out bush you do stack a lot of tires. There's only so many times you can plug one. With the Cruiser, still got the manual locking hubs, which is, for me, it's just it's kind of sense that we are going forward driving now. Like when you get out the car and lock the hubs in, it's like, yep, this is it. We into it. So, little thing.
Alright, so going the complete opposite end from Wayne's car, I've had this set up for, I feel like saying, 12 months now, and I've gone back to my trusty swag. We've had this guy for the last 5 years, and it's been going strong ever since, so I'm happy with that. What I have added is, well, I haven't added, but I've just changed the awning. You would know that I run the Ridge Rider awning now, and I run the awning wall just to keep the wind out, because you don't want the wind blowing into your swag and all the rest of it. Plus a little bit of privacy, which is nice. And yeah, this is my simple 10-minute setup, so nice and easy to set up. Swag takes 5 seconds, putting the awning up takes a couple of minutes, and you're ready to rock and roll. But simplicity is the key for my setup, and yeah, pretty much I can sort of camp anywhere on the side of the road, just like Wayne, just putting up the rooftop tent. I just pull this off the roof, and I'm ready to go. Just touching on the swag as well, because this is like 5 years old. This was bought when 4Drive Supercentre first started off, so way back in the day when they were really linked up with, I think they were Tigers 11, like just after that. So this has actually got a 100mm mattress in it. So the new ones you'll find have a 50, a 70, and I think it's an 80mm mattress now. So I do find this is a lot more comfy than the newer ones, if that makes sense, or anything into the swag. So hence why I like it so much, because yeah, I think they were built a little bit better back when they were like this. It's very simple poles and no telescopic rails or anything like that, so nothing can really go wrong, except for this one pole which is a bit bent, but adds character. But yeah, that's pretty much my everyday setup, I suppose. Talking about my swag and my awning setup. There is a light that I put in here as well if I need to. I do have lights up here now, so I'm not really fussed on having this light up here. But in the gutter, I can put it's a Ridge Rider awning light. They can just run it along, and then that gives me a little bit of light in here. I sometimes set it up. I don't really use it every day, but I put these roof lights on, and they illuminate plenty anyway. So there's no real need to put it in anymore. But if I just want a little bit of ambient light, because you can adjust it for like low and high light. So you don't want it 11 o'clock blasting your face or whatever. So whereas these can't be adjusted, so that's just more like a spotlight type, floodlight type thing. So yeah, that's pretty much my go-to. As I said, complete opposite to Wayne's, but it works for me. And this is probably more of a setup for like a weekender. I could tour in this like easily, but as Wayne said in his part, he's got the creature comforts for the rooftop tent, because if you're out there for a week, you do want to be comfortable. So, but this is perfect for a weekender, a couple of nights away, whatever you're doing, can't go wrong. So as I said, if you've been following my videos, I mean, you're on my channel, so you probably have been following my videos. I haven't gone through my rear drawer setup as of yet because I'm still tinkering with it. But this is pretty much my go-to now. So the way I've got this set up is fridge on the fridge side. Obviously all my recovery gear, cooking utensils, that kind of stuff is in the side drawer. So I have it in here. That's got all my cooking utensils in it. I can literally open that, and I've got knives, forks, plates, and all the rest of it. My gloves, that kind of stuff goes in the front. So my, I suppose, more frequently accessed stuff is always at the front. And then like recovery gear and like the beach bag and all that kind of stuff goes in the back. And then in this one, I've got all my cooking stuff. So gas burner, I've got saucepans, all the little plates that fold down, which are perfect. Solar blankets in there, cling wrap, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, simple. I literally park on the side of the road. I can take me gas cooker out, cook something up on the side of the road, pack it all away, nice, simple and easy, which is why I set it up the way I do, because it's simple and easy. On this side, this is why I didn't put wings on it. One of the reasons I didn't put wings on it is I've got my compressor and recovery bag in there. If I had a wing on there, I wouldn't be able to fit them underneath, because this is only 240 tall. So a lot of people ask me, why didn't you put wings on it? That's pretty much the main reason. And then my axe is on the side there, and I've got a water pump and that kind of stuff in the back, which just goes into like a little jerry can. And then on this side, I use a little power station, so I just charge up phones, gimbals on the camera, all that kind of stuff. And then I've got a little bit of space there for wood or whatever you want. I need to put shopping in the car or whatever, I can put it down there as well. It doesn't go anywhere, but I mainly put wood and that kind of thing down there. And yeah, got my Waco on which I've had for like 5 years, and it's getting a real good workout now because it's in the element. So I've done a few trips in this and it's still going strong. And barbecue, pretty basic setup, but it does everything I need to. I mean, we cooked dinner this last night, and I had a full, this is my bench, so I had a full setup. So I had we had mac and cheese last night. So I had the thing cooking, has this side here for cutting up everything, and use the fire for boiling the water and all the rest of it. So yeah, it works quite well. Normally, I would have a, like Wayne's got in his car, my gas hot water system. I would either store that in the car, just so it's out of the elements and the rest of it. And then when I set up, I've got the, what's it called, a kick-ass awning shower, whatever you call it, what are they called?
Shower tent.
Yeah. A kick-ass shower tent that goes on the side, so I can get changed in there, or I normally get changed in the swag, but you can have a shower or whatever. And then I've got a tripod set up, so similar to Wayne's, but mine's just removable, so it's not actually mounted to the car. So for example, I'll just have the tripod set up, have the hot water system there, gas bottle on the roof, as you can probably see. That leads into the hot water system, and Bob's your uncle, you've got hot water. And I get the water from the jerry can in the back. So further ideas for this, instead of having a single jerry can, I'm just thinking about getting like a 40-50 litre tank that goes in between the drawers in the back of the car, because it is a bit of wasted space. Well, not wasted, because I can put stuff in there, but it'd just be easier if I had a water tank in there. So thinking about getting a water tank in there, just so I can have a touch more water in the back, because I'm thinking like 80 litres is about right. What is it, like 2 litres or 3 litres per day per person on the day, every day, but if it's winter, it's half the amount, and then divided by 2.
That was a Russell quote moment, that one.
But, yeah, this as I said, this does perfectly for me. I mean, I'm thinking about what Wayne did is putting a stainless steel sheet on here, because I think that's a great idea. So that'll probably come in the future. We'll just have to have it around the lip, because I have the tonneau cover on the day-to-day stuff. But yeah, I might just get a bit of stainless steel sheeting, just so I can have this as like a real bench, because it does get cheese, like at the moment it's got like crap all over it, but yeah, just make it a little bit easier for cooking and stuff. And on this side, I'm just gonna, it hasn't been finished yet, but I'm gonna have like lights actually in the tray, so I can just light it up a bit. And potentially, one of the ideas is have little lights come off here, so they're actually just sticking up, and then I can have this all illuminated as well, just running off this setup here. So, but yeah, that's me. That's how I set up my rear of my car. So, as I said, you could easily do daily trips in this. I could do a week in this car. You know, I've got plenty of food in the or plenty of space in the fridge, so I could run 2 fridges in the back here if I really needed to, because I've got the 65 litre Ridge Rider fridge as well, so I can run that in the back as well if I really needed to, and yeah, does me fine. So you would have seen the video. I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago, but you would have seen this guy come up. So this is me awning tent. Pretty simple to set up. Just rolls out. Got 2 arms. I pulled out the wrong arm first. This is only my 3rd time pulling this out, so give me some credit here. Then you got the rods on the bottom, and that's how it sets up. So you can obviously tighten all this up and do what you need to. I haven't actually used it yet, so it's very, very fresh. But that's essentially how they do that shower tent. Hooks in the bottom, so you can put some pegs in there. As I said, super simple to set up. It's very different to the other one that you've got. Is they've got different barring around here. So yeah, it's interesting to see how they do it differently and all the rest of it. But good brackets. It's all pop riveted together like most awnings are. But yeah, you can get have a shower in here. It's got little pockets inside, so you can put soap or whatever you want in there. And yeah, it's easy, simple to use, I suppose. And as I said, it packs up nice and easy. Easy then it sets up, especially when you're not doing it right. And roll it up. As I said, it just goes nice and flat because it's got these bars in the bottom. That all goes nice and flat. You just roll it up, and you're ready to go. And just so you're aware, a lot of people probably going to ask, how do you get in there? Yeah, so zip from the bottom, you just go in with the door. So yeah, you don't have to like lift it up and get in there or anything like that. You just use a zip, so nice and simple. But yeah, that's essentially my shower awning, and it's a very new addition, but you can sort of think about how I'd have it set up. Tripod here, you've got your gas bottle on the roof, gas line coming down here. You have your tripod set up with the gas heater on there. This guy here clicks into the gas hot water system, and then you have a full-blown shower. Just a little shower head over the top, and Bob's your uncle. You got a full-blown shower. So pretty keen to try it. I reckon it's going to work quite well. And yeah, as I said, I was on a pre-order for these things, so I got it reasonably cheap. I think it's about $400 off the top of my head, around that kind of money. So jump on their website. As I said, I'm not affiliated with them, but jump on their website, have a look, and yeah, see what you think.